Bahamas. Where does the upside still lie for your team?
Yeah, I think the number one thing for us is our improved rebounding, obviously. And TK, helped with that, but also his ability to be aggressive, and rebound the ball. And obviously Oscar's done a great job, helping in that area also. But I think that's the one area that, when you struggle shooting the basketball, if you can rebound the basketball and take care of the basketball, now you still got a chance against a really good team. But I thought we put it all together in that last game. I thought we did a good job of following what we wanted to do against JT Toppin, and then we just played hard, played well, played together. And obviously everything looked better. You make shots. I thought the start of the Memphis game, they started 2 4s and 2 5s against us. We got to about the second media timeout before we had a bad possession. We just didn't make shots. And sometimes that's hard to look at, like, you're not playing well. But I thought we got a little emotional in that game, and it allowed some things to affect us. And it was a good learning tool for us to kind of, you're going to get some things go against you in a basketball game, and you got to be able to handle it and move to the next play. So overall, it's a good tournament. I thought the experience of playing both of those teams are really going to help us.
Seems like they've done a really good job following scouting reports defensively, playing together as a team. Are you on schedule in that regard as to where you want to be?
Yeah, I think anytime you have the experience that we have, and guys that have played well together, I think that the pieces that we have, I think the number one thing you would look at our team and say, how does Trey Kaufman coexist with another big guy, right? So that's why we worked really hard and diligent on our spacing in the summer. We just didn't have all these guys, so that was hard. So right as the fall started, that was our number one thing from an offensive standpoint, to have good spacing and to be able to be detailed so they can coexist together. But anytime you have multiple people out there that can pass, it really helps. And our experience of plugging in guys that sub in with our guys is just trying to figure out kind of that rotation. And I think it's starting to really look good in how we sub and how we blend guys together. Now, injuries and foul trouble can change that real quick, but I like the blend of guys that we have and the people that we bring off the bench.
Your offensive rebounding numbers in particular have spiked pretty significantly since last year. Beyond what it happens after that in the moment, what are you seeing, like a build-up, like residual effect of that, either through the wear that puts on another team or just what it's meaning for you offensively?
I think anytime you give up a lot of offensive rebounds, you foul more also. Obviously you're at the rim a lot, and so you're going to give up those putbacks. And Oscar does a good job when he doesn't have it of spraying it out. TK's a great passer also. So I think that's first and foremost for us. It's just you're trying to win that possession more. And you're trying to have fewer turnovers and more rebounds. But when you dominate it, we dominated against Alabama, but if LeBaron Phelan makes those free throws, it's a tie game with 1 minute to go. Don't act like we blew them out. Like the game could have won either way. He misses it, we go down, make our 2 free throws, and then they never get it back to one possession. So you got to keep that, in perspective. But yeah, it just puts you in when you feel like you have a team that can get into a game and play quality people and have under 10 turnovers, and you feel like you can win the rebound war, and you have good shooters and you have good scorers, like it puts you in a really good position offensively.
So how nice is it as a coach to have all these guys who can make plays to beat buzzers? That was a big part of the Bahamas that probably got snowed under everything else that happened. But Omer had one, Fletcher had one, Braden had 2. Just how big a deal is that when you're as good offensively as you are, to also have guys who, when things don't necessarily work right away, can get your points anyway? Yeah, you're going to get into scenarios, low shot clock, in the game clock, 2-for-1s, whatever you want to look at. And you got to be able to go make a play. Sure, you're going to run things and get good spacing and try to get angles off a ball screen action or a set. But more than anything, like at times you got to be able to just break your man down and go get a shot for. So yeah, that's great. That's a great luxury to have.
Luxury to have Omer spell Braden. Last year you couldn't afford to take Braden out of games very often. just to have those 4-minute, 5-minute spurts in the first half where Omer can go in there and run the offense.
Yeah, it really helps. I mean, it helps, our team. It helps, Braden when he comes back in. Now he's just a little more fresh, and you just don't have that overall burden of understanding that. A lot of times competitive guys like Braden, it doesn't bother a bit because you love staying out there and you love playing. But yeah, it gives us, another look. And then when you put them together, I think it helps us even more.
Looked like Liam was pretty much a full participant in there. Is he cleared?
Yeah, I thought he was just non-contact. So he obviously got in some things.
It's breaking news to you.
He said he felt great. So you just want to make sure that sometimes you can come back a little bit too early, and you don't want to hurt it again and make it a longer timeout. So that was good to see that he got out there.
Do you know if he'll be cleared for Friday?
I thought he was no contact today, so I'll talk to Chad about it. So.
Gotcha.
You're a connoisseur of Indiana high school basketball. For Jerron and Brandon to go in the Hall of Fame, how big of a deal is that? How cool is that for?
Yeah, very surreal, obviously for Jerron, with his passing, that was so tragic at such a young age. But Jerron had a great career here. He was very instrumental in that success that they had, and a really, really good run. So I know that'll be great, for his family and his friends, to be able to honor him going in. And I've known about Coach B's here for about a month, so I held off from saying anything. I think I was the right person to say something to him. But no, just a great honor. Brandon had a great high school career. He had a great college career. A lot of success in high school and college. Then he had a great pro career. Played 10 years overseas, and so happy for him. I know it's pretty cool for our whole program to see Jerron A and B go in.
When you got Aaron Fine to come here, were you surprised that he didn't have offers from Division I programs?
Yeah, he's from a winning program. He's an Indiana All-Star. I watched him a lot in the AAU because he played, with Raleigh on a really good AAU team. But yeah, just a heady player, good player, competitive. Probably the best thing he does is defend. He's got to go get some really good guards every single day. But yeah, for us to get somebody that good, it helps us. He helps us win games. Sam King helps us win games, and they don't get in games. It's a great attribute. And anybody that doesn't understand that doesn't understand how important competitive practices are.
Looks like there's a proposal to move the transfer portal back, farther away from the NCAA tournament now.
Yeah.
Are you in favor of that timeline as opposed to what you had the last few years?
Yes, sure. Before they were mandating how many days we had it. That's why it got to where it did. And I can go through it all, but it's pretty boring. But yeah, now they've shortened the window for us. I hopefully we can get it. It needs to be, my opinion, it needs to be right after the Final Four for 15 days, like April 8th or the 23rd, something in there. I'm a little bit of paraphrasing there. But it needs to be that. It doesn't need to be anything more. There's guys right now know they're transferred. There's a lot of people right now know they're transferred all over college basketball. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. So, but yeah, it's kind of a necessary evil in what we're dealing with right now.
How much of a complication was that for you guys last year? You're trying to get with Oscar, you're looking into Omer, all that's going on right at the time you're trying to still play NCAA tournament games.
A little easier with Oscar. His college coach and his junior college coach were running his recruitment, so a little bit easier there. But yeah, it was, the day after we got beat by Houston, we did the Zoom with Omer. So that's not the portal, but it's just, you got to move. You got to move quick. You got to be on it. You got to know what's going on more than anything. So, but you also don't want to be out there, trying to push guys out of other people's programs and stuff like that. I think a level of just being respectful and not doing it. A lot of that's happening out there. It doesn't mean that we need to do that, but you see why. Like when you start to get involved, maybe with some guys, and you're just starting off, and somebody else has been having contact with them for 2 months, you're probably not going to be able to get involved there. So it's just one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type deals.
Can I ask you one more thing real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just with all that's going on with the MTE landscape, what's your kind of approach to that moving forward?
Yeah, same thing. Just trying to play really good competition in warm weather. down to it. I think people like traveling. I think our fans like traveling. They like the warm weather. And then when we don't go to warm weather, it's going to be elite competition. Doesn't mean the other one's not elite competition, but because most of them have been. But yeah, that's what we want to do. Like if you see us like where we didn't go to warm weather is the thing in Connecticut. That was Villanova, North Carolina, and then PK 85. That's Duke, Gonzaga, West Virginia. So it was pretty, really good competition.
It seems like Maui and the Bahamas, though,
Yeah.
squeezed out a little bit. Is everybody getting pushed toward Vegas by the way this is going?
I think there's still going to be other tournaments. I think there's still going to be other things. Well, we're waiting to see. It doesn't mean that we won't ever do that, but we like where we are right now. I wouldn't think we play in Vegas next year, but the thing that we're trying to do has to go through. We'll just kind of see where we are.
Does the Vegas format not appeal to you in some way, or?
Yeah, they talked about to us, and I don't know what's going on with the tournament, but when they called us and talked to us about if you get to that third game, then you would play, and then you would not play a couple like your other games you had scheduled, and I didn't know how to that didn't make sense. Because now, this team's going to schedule to play us, and now we're just going to buy them out and then not play them. Well, they still need to play a game, right? And now they just don't. They just get money. That didn't add up to me. So when I asked them that, I didn't get the answer that I wanted. I just thought there would be something more, how they could kind of move from that, right?
So it's more that there's some non-concrete aspects
you just
of
want
it.
to know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And I like the 2 games. I think that's what a lot of people are getting to. The 3 games are pretty tough to recover from and come back, especially when you got to go 3 in a row like we did in Hawaii. That's tough. That's good.